Today's topic of discussion is success. So, a lot of guys, when it comes to relationships, they think that success is based off of external features. So, money, status, looks, and fulfilling their own desires and own pleasures. That's not success. And that's not something which is going to create any type of positive impact on society for the upcoming generations. So we're going to be covering some key points in what makes a person successful and what makes a man successful, and then how that applies to relationships, and then how when a woman comes into the relationship, or if you're already in a relationship, she views that this guy here is very successful because this is a man who is of purpose. So first point is purpose. In life, right, you're going to need to be working on your purpose each and every single day. A man who's on his purpose, a guy who's always improving, so mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and he's constantly working on his purpose and constantly leveling up in those arenas there, he's going to be very, very successful, because that guy there, yeah, is somebody who is improving day by day. He is providing value to himself, and he's also providing value to society. And then on top of that, he is getting blessed by God. So guys who are all working on their purpose, guys who prioritize their purpose over everything, God rewards those type of people. And the best example is Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So he was the most successful man. Reason being is because he was very purpose driven. So his purpose, ultimate purpose, was to spread the deen, to spread the message of Islam. So as Muslims, we measure our success based off of working on our purpose, and purpose related to God. That's what success is. Success isn't related to all the external materialism and overindulging in all these different type of short-term satisfactions. We're focused on longevity over here, and we're focused on the next life. So that's what makes a man successful. Next point is children. So certain people, they can't have children. So people who can't have children, unfortunately, that's a test in and of itself for them people. So that man and a woman, they're going to have to keep on praying to God and keep on asking God to bestow them with children. So people who do have children, they need to realize that that is a blessing in and of itself, and that is going to determine whether or not that man and that woman are successful or not. So if the mom and dad are successful, they're going to be able to raise righteous children and good children who are going to be productive people in society. A lot of parents nowadays are failing and they're not successful because they've got disobedient children. They haven't taught them any manners, any type of discipline, any type of character. And these children are going around in society constantly chasing after short-term satisfaction. And they're chasing after quick fixes. Or how do I get rich as quickly as possible? How do I make X amount? How do I do this? How do I do that? They don't want to put in the graft. They don't want to put in hours. They don't want to put in the time. And then the mom and dad are so busy and so occupied with chasing after money that they've got kids who are just literally rotten. These kids are rotten, and then these kids haven't got no appreciation, no respect for society, and they are just not successful. So that's what it is. These people are not successful. People who are successful, I know certain people who haven't got a lot of money and they've got children, they've got lots of children, and then those children are productive children in society. And guess what? A lot of their children end up going on doing well in this life, and then they're going to likely do well in the next life as well, because they're productive members of society. They're people who value spirituality. They value providing value to the world. They value these things here. So they value purpose. So that's why they're people who are going to be excelling in all areas of life. They're not going to be people who are going to focus on let's just make money, and then when we have children we're just going to be doing craziness. It's like, no, When you have children, it comes with responsibility. And a lot of parents in today's society, so the man and the woman, they're so focused on just chasing external stuff that they're not focused on the children, and they're not focused on raising righteous children. And this is one of the major problems in society. So guys who are successful, they're prioritizing having lots of children, and then making sure that those children are of good set standard. They're not children who are going to be disobedient and children who are going to be disrespectful and not contributing towards society. Next point is charity. So a successful man is somebody who gives back to his community and gives to charity. A lot of society, if you ask these guys who are not following, for example, who are not following the spirituality side of it. So I looked at the statistics, right? When it comes to the UK, the most given people and the people who give to the most charity are Muslims. Now, this ain't a surprise because it's one of the pillars of Islam, but at the same time, it just shows that these people here who are giving to charity, these people are going to be the most satisfied, and then they're providing the most value to society, and they are the most successful. People who are indulging in their own desires, indulging in materialism, indulging in all these holidays and lavish lifestyle, none of these guys, if you have a conversation with them and you actually spend time with them, none of them are satisfied. I've been with quite a few of these guys, spoken to them, and then they're always just chasing after something. They're not satisfied, and they're not even thinking about, oh yeah, how can we do something and give to charity. They like to talk, and they like to say, oh yeah, I'm going to go and do this later on, I'm going to go and create a project, I'm going to do this and that. None of it comes into fruition. So guys who are successful, they are always giving back to charity, and they're always providing value to the generations that are younger. So there's certain times it doesn't have to necessarily be giving money to charity. It can be just helping youngsters in your community. So if you're in a gym, for example, or if you're in some sort of outside, if you're in a shop center or wherever it is, if you're in, let's say, give the example of gym. So if you're in a gym, for example, and you see a youngster, training in there, go up to him and, speak to him, have a conversation with him, and then just give him some knowledge, give him some, wisdom. Tell him something that he probably hasn't heard before. And then guess what? That's an act of charity right there. And that's a good thing, because you're actually spreading knowledge, you're spreading positivity, and then that person there who's a youngster, he's going to appreciate that, and then he's going to remember, so-and-so, he taught me that. Do you understand? And then that way there, it just shows that this guy here, success is widespread. It's not just about himself, it's about helping others as well also become successful. So that's important. And then the final point is content. So a successful man is content in life. He's content with living basic and having the necessities needed to continue with life. A lot of guys, they're so dissatisfied, and they're constantly chasing, oh yeah, I need to get this, I need to get X amount here, I need to get X amount of money, I need to get, go to this place here, I need to go here and here. They're just always running after something. These guys are not content in life with what God has given them. Certain times you need to sit back and you need to appreciate that God has blessed me with all these things here. And life isn't just about chasing money and chasing after women. It's about being content, and then that way there, your partner and your woman sees that, right, this guy here, he's not always on the go when it comes to chasing after money. He's somebody who sits back and he appreciates the small gestures in life. So certain times, right, if, for example, a woman does something for you that is a good gesture, or she's showing genuine love towards you, you need to sit back and be content with that and be like, you're satisfied knowing that you're satisfied with that, and you're not thinking about, oh yeah, I wish I had this and I wish I had that. Certain guys, what they do is they got all these things here, they got all these blessings in life, and then they're still miserable. They're still not happy because they're not satisfied with what God has given them. So this is what it is, guys. You guys need to be content with what you have in life, and then you're always obviously elevating, you're always improving in life, and you're always improving in those arenas there, so mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So just to wrap up, purpose, you're always working on your purpose. So prioritizing purpose, a man is successful because he prioritizes his purpose and he doesn't deviate away from his purpose. His purpose is his number one mission in life, and he's always chasing his purpose. Next point after that is children. So certain people have children, certain people who do not have children. So if they don't have children, one of the ways to be successful is to, let's say if you was to adopt children or give to, charity, for example. But children is a form of legacy. And that right there is, when you have righteous children, you are going to be successful, because righteous children are going to end up providing more and more value. And then that way there, you're going to be getting more blessings in the next life as well from that. So that's important. And then giving to charity. So always providing value and giving back to society. A lot of guys, they'll make it, they'll get X amount, they'll always do well in the external side of it. But then when it comes to charity and giving to people who are less fortunate, they're not willing to do that. And these guys here, they're not successful. They're not people who are of value. So these guys here are not successful. Guys who are successful, they're always providing value and they're always giving to charity. And then the next point after that was content. So being content with what you have. So a guy who's content with what God has given him, that person is very successful. The person who's not successful is somebody who's got, like, let's say 100 million, 10 million, 50 billion, or whatever the case is. He's seeing that and he's like, oh yeah, I just want the next target, I want the next mark, and I'm always chasing the next amount of money. That person is not successful, and he's not somebody who is content with what God has given him. You need to sit back and realize that, oh, God has given me X amount here, I need to show appreciation for that. So that wraps up today's video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.